Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my makeup when I have to wear a mask. If you want to wear makeup but you have to wear a mask, whether it's because of your job or you're going to, I don't know, like a meeting, this video is for you. So the overall theme of this video is to really keep your makeup focused on your eyes. Obviously, because the mask covers basically your whole face except your eyes and your forehead, you want to emphasize your eyes. Emphasize. So this look is going to be very much focused on the eyes and creating a shape that suits your eyes. You guys will see. So let's just get into it. So I have you guys zoomed in just a little bit. Somebody is shouting outside, somebody's baby is crying. I'm sorry. So as you can probably tell, my eyebrows are done. I did moisturize my face already. I used the Neutrogena Hydro Boost lotion. This one does have SPF in it, so I definitely recommend that one, especially because we are in the summer. But wear SPF all year, okay? All year, every day. Do it. So to conceal under my eyebrows, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. You guys all know what this is. So I'm going to take some of that and just go right here. So I'm going to take that concealer and just clean up right under here. Under where? Under here. Oh, sorry. And now for the other side. I think we're pretty even. If not, listen. Your eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, not twins. Mine are like step siblings. And I'm not going to be dragging this down into my crease because, believe it or not, I actually have eyeshadow primer. I know, crazy, right? You know, especially with the rise of Robert Welsh here on YouTube, who has, among many other people, but he has really been advocating for eyeshadow primer over the use of concealer as primer. Listen, I always knew he was right because I trust him with my life. When in doubt, what would Robert do? Another theme with this look is the use of primers and the use of long-lasting products, and that's because any of you who have been wearing masks regularly, you know they make your face sweat. Okay, for the first week that I was wearing masks for like 10 hours a day at work, I was breaking out like crazy, especially on my cheeks and my jaw. I still have some little breakouts there. Obviously, that cloth or that mask on your face makes you sweat. My eyelids are already pretty oily, so this has been saving my life. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is the original one. I've been using the shadow primer for the past 2 weeks and I really love it. That is all I'm going to put on because honestly you do not need any more than that. The more layers of product that you have on, the more sweaty you will end up looking. So I have that on my eyes. I'm going to take my finger and just pat it in. It does have a slight color to it, but you can see it doesn't really alter the overall color of my eyelids too much. And I don't mind that because I am going to be doing some pretty natural looking eyeshadow today, so I don't need to cancel out all of my darkness that I have on my eyes. If you do want to cancel out all of the darkness on your eyes, they do have a tinted formula, and there are a bunch of other eyeshadow primers on the market. Okay, maybe don't do that. So now I'm just going to set the concealer that I had underneath my eyebrow, and to do that I'm going in with my Smashbox palette. This palette is probably older than some of you watching. I'm going to be mixing this cream shade. Is that cream? I don't know what color cream is. White. I'm going to be mixing this shade on top with this shade right below it, and this is what I have been doing for years, right underneath my eyebrows. Again, the whole purpose of this is just so that at the end of the day you do not look like a greasy, sweaty dumpling. Hey, I love dumplings, but you know, doesn't mean I want to look like one. Now we are going to give the eyeshadow primer a second to dry down, I guess, and become one with my eyelids. While we do that, we are going to go in and actually prime the skin. It's all skin. Prime my face. I'm having a hard time communicating today. I apologize. I have oily combination skin. Patrick Star. When I am sweaty, when I am in the sun, the first place that you will see it is on my nose. On my nose and right here in between my eyebrows. Now, you might be wondering, why do you need to prime your nose if no one's going to see your nose? Well, hear me out. If you're on break at work, you might have to take off your mask to eat your food, right? And maybe there are other people in the room. Maybe you don't want to look so sweaty, because honestly, and I've done this, but I just think it's so funny. I think it's hilarious when you take off your mask and like everything above your mask looks like perfect, flawless, model, and then you take off your mask and it's like nothing at all. I feel like that looks really weird. It's all up to personal preference. If you are going somewhere and you know that you are not going to have to take off your mask until you get home, then heck yeah, just focus on this area. But for me and my job, there are times when I do have to take off my mask. We are going to do it in such a way that it is manageable underneath a mask and it's not going to stain your mask and get your mask disgusting with foundation on it, you know what I mean? So that's the kind of look that I'm going for. So the primer that I'm using is by Too Faced. This is their Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. She is cute. She's real cute. Another primer that I would really recommend is by Becca. I forget what it's called, but I will link it in the description. Or you could also use this primer by Tarte if your skin is not super oily. So I'm going to take some on my finger if it wants to come out. Oh, come on. I'm going to start off with the forehead. That was a lot of product, so I'm going to take the rest right down the center of my nose. And I'm going to do a combination of rubbing and patting. To me, that's how you get the best effect with this primer. Okay, now I'm going to take a little more for the sides of my nose. As with most matte primers, this one can pill up a little bit. So that is why I moisturized like 30 minutes ago and now I'm going in with primer. I would say wait at least like 3 minutes, you know, maybe moisturize and then do your eyebrows and then go in with primer. So now we are going to let the primer on my face sink in and now we're going to return to the eyes. For eyeshadow, I'm going to keep it nice and simple and I'm going to focus on creating a shape. Obviously, you can do any shape that you prefer. When I wear a mask, I really like how the kind of cat eye shape looks. So I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill x Morphe palette. I'm not going to show you guys mine because she's very dirty. She has foundation all over her. Here's a clean one. This is what the palette looks like. I'm going to start off with this shade called Pooter. Pooter? What's a pooter? That sounds, I feel like I shouldn't be saying that. Am I gonna get demonetized? It's pretty similar to my skin tone, but it's a little darker. I'm going in with the NYX number 32 brush. This is what this looks like right here. This is my favorite brush of all time for eyeshadow. Now I do want this to look kind of fluffy and blended out. So to achieve that, I'm gonna hold the brush down at the base. Is this the base or the end? Basically, I'm holding it at the end instead of like way up here because I want it to be diffused. If you guys don't know, I work at a grocery store and I have just seen the funniest, crazy mask wearers. Well, where I live, you have to wear a mask in all public spaces. I've seen people who straight up walk in and rip off their mask as soon as they get in. And it doesn't make no sense to me. Like, what's the point? Why do you do this? Why?
You did this for what?
Why not?
Why?
Why not?
Why though?
Obviously, if you have a medical condition that stops you from wearing a mask, I understand, okay? But these people, they walk in wearing a mask and then they're like, well, I already got in, and they rip it out. Make it make sense. Let's take a little bit of a darker shade. This is called Mocha. That's very fitting. This brown is called Mocha. I'm going to take that on the same brush and I'm going to put that on the outer corners outwards. Oh my god, another thing that really annoys me, I have customers who like, they just don't speak up. Obviously, you know, when you are wearing a mask, you have to speak up a little bit because there's a layer blocking your mouth. But I have people who have come up to me in their masks and they're like, hi, do you guys have Dove body wash? And I'm like, excuse me? And they're like, do you have Dove body wash? And I'm like, I cannot hear you. So my battery died. No surprise there. Basically, all you're doing with eyeshadow is contouring your eyes. Can this truck beep, 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 shop? All you are doing when you go in with dark eyeshadow is you are contouring. It's exactly the same way that you contour your face, you know? On the lid, I'm going to go in with, you guessed it, another brown shade. This shade actually has some yellowish undertones, and this shade is called Peachy. You know, I never read the names on this palette. There's some weird names. I'm going to kind of build it up on my brush quite a bit, and I'm just going to pat it on the lid. Obviously, you don't have to use the same colors that I'm using. You could use any colors, but I just wanted to show you guys the basic formula of how I create shape with my eyes. That being said, this formula can be used with any and all colors. Honestly, I could stay here forever and just pat my eyes. It feels so nice sometimes to just be like, pat, 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 pat. So next up, we have my favorite part of this whole routine, and in my opinion, this part really, it really ties everything together. We are gonna go in with liquid eyeliner. I know. When was the last time that I used liquid eyeliner on my channel? I can't even tell you. It was probably like 2 years ago. I have been loving this one, and it was like $9. This is from Quo Beauty, which you can find at Shoppers Drug Mart, Loblaws. I don't know where else, but I will link it in the description. This is their liquid precision marker. I have the shade Jet Black 52. So this is what she looks like on the outside. This is what the actual marker looks like. I like it because it's not too big, but it's not too small, you know. Size matters. Really quickly, I'm going to swatch it on my hand just to show you guys what it looks like. I can't see what I'm doing, so let's see. Was that awful? I don't even want to look. Okay, not bad. I don't know if you can tell. It is just your basic black eyeliner. It dries matte. That's all you need to know. I am challenged when it comes to fine motor skills, so I will not be applying this on camera before I mess up everything. So we are back. Eyeliner is on. Is it perfect? Not at all. Perfect is overrated, okay? That sounds so like Tumblr, like a Tumblr quote. Being perfect is overrated. Wouldn't you rather be unique? I feel like this is actually the worst my eyeliner has looked in a while. Of course, the one day I'm filming it's gonna turn out bad. Wow, this is a great look, isn't it? You can see that I didn't bring the line all the way into my, you know, inner corner. I really left it on the outer third, and I just feel like that makes your eyes more open. If you bring, especially a color like black, all the way into your inner corner, it can really close off your eyes. That's that on that. This is the winged situation. Now we're gonna go in and actually treat the complexion. So honestly, I have been pretty low maintenance. I haven't been caring much about my complexion recently. What I have been using for foundation is actually the Fenty Beauty Concealer. I have the shade 360 here. I do have a video reviewing these concealers. It's very old, so I look different. My filming setup is quite different. I speak differently. But if you do want to watch that video, I will link it in the description. When I do use foundation, what I have been loving, especially when I have to wear a mask, is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. You guys know that has been a long time favorite here on my channel. I have been loving this concealer for this purpose because it's not super full coverage. So I feel like when you do wear it all around the skin, it gives you a nice smooth look with even coverage. But then when you take off your mask, this part of your face and this part of your face are not going to be two drastically different colors. So that's why I like this. And around my eyebrows, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm going to angle the brush like this to blend out that product instead of going flat on like this. Also, hear me out guys, if you have a foundation that like doesn't match you perfectly, this is the time to wear them. If you are wearing your foundation that doesn't match you on this part of your face, right? Even if your neck is showing, your neck is so far away from this part of your face, no one's gonna notice. Life hack. With whatever little bit is left on my brush, I am going to bring it down to my chin and around my mouth. My mouth area is a lot darker than the rest of my face, so if you don't have hyperpigmentation, you don't need to do this. As you may or may not know, I am a 2 concealer girl, okay? I have to use 2 concealers. I have to double up. First, I like to go in with a concealer that is more orangey red, that kind of will color correct for me without being a color corrector, and then I go in with a shade that it actually highlights the area. If I don't go in with a darker concealer first, I will have a little bit of like a gray cast under my eyes, and honestly if you're wearing a mask that will not be noticeable at all. The first concealer that I'm going in with is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and I have the shade Warm Sand. So I'm going to take a little right here and right there. Boom. I'm going to dip into some concealer, make sure I have some on my brush, and just go right under here. Right away, do you see how that really lifts the outer portion of the eye? The sun is like playing hide and go seek. I'm sorry if I change skin colors throughout this video. Now I'm gonna blend out that concealer with the same brush that we used before, and I'm just going to pat it out a little lower than my actual under eye. This is really just to get an initial layer of coverage. Now, depending on the mask that you wear, this portion of your face might not be visible, but I have a couple different masks, and some of them go up like way up here, and then some of them go like down here, so you can adjust accordingly. So now, to actually highlight the skin underneath my eyes, I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I personally use a lot of concealer. I know makeup artists are quaking, okay? They're very mad, but I use a lot of concealer because I have a lot of dark circles, okay? I'm also going to take some in the middle of my eyebrows because that is where I get oily, and this concealer is pretty matte. I'm going to let this concealer dry down a little more before I go in and blend it out. In the meantime though, I am going to get my setting powder ready. This powder is the best thing I think I have ever tried. Like, this is without a doubt my holy grail powder. This is the Beauty Bakerie Flower Powder. I have the shade Plantain, or Plantain, but I say Plantain, and this is like a yellowish orangey shade, but when you put it on, it doesn't completely alter the color of your face, which I really like. If you have normal skin, if you have dry skin, do not try this powder. It is the mattest of the matte, okay? The only powder that might be more matte than this is the Fenty Beauty powder. Because I will be sweating a lot, especially with my mask on, this is the powder that I have been running to, that I have been relying on. So I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, which is like horribly dirty. Okay, don't judge me. I know you have not been cleaning your brushes and tools either, ma'am. Don't judge me. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, what I want to do, because I really want to optimize the coverage. Wow, look at me, I'm using big words. Sometimes you will see me patting and not swiping, but patting and moving really fast. But right now, I want to really pat in the same area and then move on. And pat and then move on, instead of just going boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? You'll see me do it. Okay, let's get started. Now, I know you might be thinking that this concealer is like way too crazy light for me, and you're right. This concealer really is for when I'm in the winter and I have not seen any sun in like 4 months. But because the setting powder that I'm using is slightly dark, like it's not just a banana powder or a translucent powder, I can get away with using a bit of a lighter concealer. And I'm being really careful to go right up to the winged eyeliner. This area right here is the area that really rubs off on the mask. So the less product that you have right here, the better. Again, with what is left over on the sponge, I'm going to go around my mouth. And a little bit right here, because why not? Boom. Boom. That is how I like my concealer to look. A little bright, a little crazy, but don't worry, we are going to tone it down. So I have dipped my brush in the setting powder. I'm going to use this little tissue. I'm going to quickly blend out any creases that might have formed in the past like 20 seconds. Now I'm going to take my powder and just pat it in place. With the excess that is on the brush, I'm just going to sweep it over basically anywhere. Wow, y'all see that powder flying up? She is not playing games. If you are only using the excess product on this area, it will not transfer to your mask. But if you are applying product here, that is when you end up with a lot more makeup than maybe you want, and that is when it's going to transfer all over your mask. Now, I have some of that powder here, and I am going to press it into this area of my face. Do not do this unless you are planning to take your mask off. And if you are wearing your mask all day and nobody is ever going to see your face, or you don't care how they see your face, you don't need to do this. I'm just showing you this in case you want to have this area look decent, but you don't want it to transfer. This is the way to go. I know it looks like a lot of powder. It is, because I'm very oily, but when I do it this way, there is no transfer on my mask. And really, it all comes down to your application of your products. Now, I'm not really baking because I don't believe in baking, so I'm going to brush that off. With the excess product on my brush, I'm going to go right above my eyebrows. That is where I also get really oily. Next up, I'm going to take a compact powder, or a powder compact. I have two favorites. One of them is the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. That stuff is amazing. I cannot get enough of it. I have been using that every single day, and I have hit pan. Like, I barely have anything left in that powder. So today I'm going to be using this powder instead. This is the Sephora MicroSmooth Baked Face Compact. I have the shade Tan 40. I'm going to take this on a fluffy brush and apply it to my forehead. And I'm also going right here. To me, powders don't really transfer and create that much mess. At least in my experience, that is what I have noticed. So if you are like me and you still want a little bit of coverage around the lower part of your face, using a powder that has color in it is the way to go. Now we're going to go in and create some definition under the eyes, because as you can see, they're pretty blanked out, and I do want to add some shape back into them. I'm actually going to start off with our crease shade, which was Pooter. Harry Potter. I'm going to start off with this color on the kind of middle portion of my eyes. Now, I don't want anything too dark on the inner 2/3 of my eyes because I find that really kind of brings your eyes down and it makes them look kind of droopy. And the whole point of this look for me is I want my eyes to look really nice, cat eye. So if you are also trying to achieve that, you don't want anything too dark right on this immediate area. You want to save that for the outer corner. Now we're going to go back in with the mocha shade on the same brush and really focus that on the outer corner. I have not been using bronzer, blush, or even highlighter really since I have been wearing a mask regularly. I just don't think it's necessary. I am going to take some highlighter in the inner corner of my eyes. Doing this really just gives your eyes an extra, almost like a literal spark. So I'm going to take this little brush. I have no idea where it came from, where did it go, where did it come from, Cotton Eye Joe. I'm using this highlighting palette by Morphe. This is their highlight and contour palette in the shade 8H. I'm going to take this shade on the top right, which is called Mirage, and just apply that on the inner corner of my eyes. Depending on the mask that you are wearing, some masks do show like this little C area, which is where I would normally apply highlighter. So if you want to, you can go ahead, apply highlighter. I really just don't feel like it, so I'm not going to, okay? You can't tell me what to do. You can't. Now we are going to go in with setting spray. You want a setting spray that you can rely on, that is generally kind of heavy duty, because setting spray is the barrier between your makeup and your mask. So you really want something that is strong, obviously. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set Makeup Extender. This is what she looks like. You guys have seen this on my channel before. And I'm just going to give my face a hefty spray. Ooh. And I'm just going to give that a second to dry. Now we are going to go in with another favorite part for me. If you want, you could wear false lashes. I do not have the time to do that every day. No thank you. So I'm going to curl my lashes and then go in with my favorite mascara of all time. Honestly, even if you are not wearing makeup at all, curling your lashes just makes you look like, I think, so much more awake. Like, it's crazy the difference that such a little step can make in terms of how you look. For mascara, I have this bad boy. Now, I was not going to buy this. I was like, I don't need more mascara. But my favorite YouTuber on here, her name is Anoushka. She is obsessed with this mascara. I trust her with my life. Her lashes are always so gorgeous. I'll link her channel in the description if you want to check her out. But this is the Huda Beauty Legit Lashes Mascara. So this is what this bad boy looks like. It is double-sided. First side is the volume side, which obviously builds up volume, and the second side is the curl and length side. This is what the volume brush looks like. She's definitely thicker and larger, you know, she's hefty. And then we have the curl and length wand, which looks like this. It's kind of like a little banana shape, and she's also skinnier. Let's start off with the volume side, and then we'll go in with curl and length. I'm gonna look kind of funny because I've said this before. When you're doing top mascara, you want to lean back so your lashes don't touch your eyeshadow. I'm going to fully load up this side with how I would normally do my mascara, and then show you guys the bare side just so you can see the comparison. I know it's really easy to say that all mascaras are the same, but trust me, this one is different than any other mascara I have ever tried. And I've tried a lot, so that means something. Now I'm going to take the curl and length side and I'm going to go ham on my eyelashes. For me, when it comes to mascara, I really am more of a length girl. I don't really care about volume too much. So usually when I use this mascara, I'll use one coat of the volume side and then 2 coats of the curl and length, and it just gives me the nicest effect. I think something that's really cool about this mascara is you can customize it depending on maybe your eyeshadow look. I'm trying my best to really get to the inner lashes that sometimes can be neglected. Alrighty, wow, that's a bit of a clumpy lash, but really I don't mind the look. I actually really like how that looks. So again, this is the eye that is fully loaded up, and this is the eye that has nothing on it. I'm going to use the back of my earring, separate these lashes a little bit, do the other side, and then we'll be back to deal with the lips. So I'm back, I have my mascara on. Listen, I am obsessed with this mascara. I cannot say it enough. Like, do you guys see, like, I love it so much. I did go through and separate my lashes just a tiny bit. So now we are going to go into the final step of this routine, which is lips. Now, if you are like me, I do not care about my lips, okay? All I want is for them to be hydrated. First, I'm going to go in with some lip liner. If I want something to last on my lips, I would rather add in color with lip liner instead of a lipstick, because that way there really is no transfer at all. So the lip liner that I'm going to use is by Milani. This is their Understatement lip liner in the shade 240 SHOOP. So this is what this color looks like. It is just the nicest medium toned brown, especially with a nude lip. Girl, I'm gonna take this and just create my shape. Like right now, you guys can see I have no lip balm, nothing on my lips, and you can see how my shape kind of disappears. So I'm just doing this to add that shape back. If you don't mind the feeling of a matte lip, you can just put lip liner all over and just you're good to go. I don't like doing that. Now, if you are a regular on my channel, you are probably so tired of me talking about tinted lip balms. I have a problem, okay? They are tinted to the point where your lips have color, but it's not like a lipstick that is going to rub off on your mask and leave a stain. This one that I have been using lately is the Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Balm. I have the shade Rose. Very, very pretty color. Also very subtle. The color in the tube looks like it's gonna be like a bright red, but once you put it on your lips, it's quite subtle. That's it. And yeah, that is it for this look. I am gonna put my mask on in a second and show you guys how everything like looks. Also guys, I need your opinion. I can't tell if it looks like stupid when I have these two like front pieces out, or if it looks like cute. So can you let me know in the comments, is this cute, or like should I just keep them behind? Let me know. So just to reiterate some important points when you are doing makeup for a mask. In general, when you are wearing a mask, you want to focus on the eyes. It's because that is what people are seeing when they look at you, right? Also focus on powders for coverage as opposed to liquid products. Like I said, especially if you are wearing a cloth mask that is reusable and, you know, washable, when you have liquid products that are staining your mask, that is harder to remove than like how I used a tinted powder today. That is very easy to remove from your mask, and it just doesn't transfer as much as liquid products. In terms of lips, tinted lip balms are again a great option. They will not stain your mask, they don't really transfer, and they keep your lips moist, okay? That is really all my advice I have for you guys in terms of makeup for mask wearers. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. I will do my best to answer all of them. Let me put on my mask and show you guys what this looks like. Hello. So this is one of the masks that I have. As you can tell, this mask is pretty full coverage. It goes pretty much right up to under my eyes. If I was gonna wear this one today, I really wouldn't put too much concealer at all, because like I said, this mask pretty much covers everything. But you can see how the eyes look when you wear a mask. Like, hello, tell me this doesn't look good. Really quickly, I'll show you guys a different mask that I use, and then we will end this video. Now, this is the other kind of mask that I often wear. You guys can see this one is less coverage than the previous mask. You can see way more of my under eyes when I'm wearing this kind of mask. Basically, adjust your makeup depending on the kind of mask that you are wearing. Obviously, I know it's not that deep. You could just not wear makeup. But this video is for the people who want to wear makeup. So that is basically it for this video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!